So how are you? Idina Menzel, welcome to Love Someone with Delilah. I haven't talked to you in what seems like forever, but because, I have so many children and grandchildren, I hear you every day.
I know. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing because I love you.
Thank you.
You've got little ones. Do they watch you?
No. He's just 13. He's 13 going on 14. He wants nothing to do with me. That's not true. You know what? I did a show the other night and I forced him to come because I thought it would be really cool for him to see me do this particular music for the first time. And he came up to me after and he was very emotional. He said, "I'm very emotional, Mom." And he hugged me in front of a lot of people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a 13, almost 14-year-old boy, that's huge.
Yeah. So that was really nice. But most of the time he wants nothing to do with me. He's at a math final right now. And let's just send him positive energy because it's seventh grade. You know how is this boring for your listeners? This kind of mommy stuff.
We're all moms or grandmoms at this point in the game.
So he's at a math final, and I was just sending him positive energy because seventh grade is such a transition from elementary school, and like he didn't have tests in the elementary school that he was at, so it's just been crazy. This for him and the workload, more than the workload, the executive functioning for a young boy, is a whole new thing. Anyway, let's talk about something else.
Well, I was just going to say, my daughter who is setting in on this, Delilah Jr., she's going into high school next year. So she's going from a school of 300 students to a school of almost 1,000 students.
Yes, that's overwhelming.
It is.
Yeah, it's so overwhelming. Walker's in a school right now that his school, the junior high and the high school are in the same school. So he's got these huge kids walking around, The good thing is that they're really sweet and they act like big sisters and brothers. And so it's cool. Back in my day, I would have been like bullied and harassed. And I remember that these girls would throw spitballs in my hair down the locker room. I was afraid to go, down the hall, and I was afraid to go to the bathroom.
Okay. But, now where do you think, how do you think they feel now when, you're winning every award in the world and you have a new album that's coming out? Do you think they're like, dang, we probably should have hung out with her instead of throwing spitballs in her hair?
No, most of them have come to my shows and stuff after and acted like we were best friends. And there's one girl that's never the worst one. That's probably really sweet now and everything, but in my head, she'll never redeem herself, And I've never seen. She's the only one I've never seen since.
And she was the queen of the bullies?
Yeah, she was so mean to me. So maybe she really did have a thing. Or maybe she doesn't even remember. That's the thing. But I don't know. Anyway.
Do you go to class reunions? Do you go back to your high school? Do you do those down memory lane trips?
I would have, but I haven't. Every time there is one, I had a show or something, so I haven't. But I see certain people a lot. Like I said, the doing theater and concerts and going on tour, people come and they ask for tickets and they come backstage, and so I've seen a lot of people through that it's actually been really nice to and then I sort of reestablish a relationship with some of them, which has been really cool.
I've known Michael Bublé since he was a teenager. Like 20.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. And he says, God, Dee, I was such a nerd when I was a kid, I think he was 20 the first time I had a chance to meet him. Same with Josh Groban. I met him when he was a teenager. And I always wonder, because, they've shared being bullied or made fun of or, for being music geeks. I always wonder, like, do people come to your shows and say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry? Or like in your case, they pretend they knew you. They were friends with you.
Yeah, no, they don't say they're sorry.
Well, the good news is the first time I met you, I was in love with you. I had seen you in Chicago, as Elphaba, and I was in love with you from the first note you sang, the first time you appeared on the stage in your green, and I have loved you ever since. So
thank you. That was a special time for me, that show. So yeah, and
I loved you so much as Elphaba. I have seen the show. I saw it with you twice, but I've seen the show 8 times now.
Wow. Well, you probably take the girls to see it.
I do. I take the girls to see it. I take my grandkids now to see it. And oh my gosh, it's just such a beautiful story of true friendship.
It is. It really is.
People's like, isn't it a love story? I said, yeah, it's a love story, but not the kind you think.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you've been busy now. You haven't slowed down. You've got a new album out, and Delilah Jr. and I were talking before the interview. She said, talk to her about Enchanted. Did she like being the mean stepmom?
You mean in Cinderella, I was the mean stepmom, and in Enchanted, I came back as the princess as the queen that I went up into the animated world at the end of Enchanted 1, and then we come back and we revisit James Marsden and I. And then, Cinderella was the
Cinderella. That was the one I was thinking about.
Yeah, no worries. And that was so much fun. Camila Cabello is a gorgeous person, inside and out. So it was all fun. I spent during COVID, once they started to figure out production for things, I spent my life in like corsets between Cinderella and Enchanted, and we went there, then they'd shut down, we come home, I get back in my PJs and do my decoupage and then hang out with my son in virtual school. And then they'd say, oh, we're back up for a month. So I go back and try to fit my ass into these corsets again. And my boobs got bigger because I put on weight. Then they'd be like spilling out of the corset, and then they have to add, Anyway, that was a lot of my COVID. But
have you lost because you look fabulous? Everybody called it the COVID-15. In my world, it was the COVID-40.
Exactly.
because sourdough. Because my girlfriend Marta, like a year before COVID hit, started talking sourdough, and she taught a sourdough class. And sourdough, hello.
Sourdough class is so funny. Yeah. My husband started baking. Yeah, that was his de-stressor. Well, he kept working during COVID because works in an inpatient facility for chemical dependency and mental illness. So he was still going every day. But so then he came home and he started baking as his sort of way to decompress. But
so he and I have an extra pound or two. Are you saying that we found?
No, he doesn't, because he doesn't gain a freaking pound ever.
Bastard.
He runs like miles. Yeah, he just makes me eat it, and then
my husband can. He's almost 70. He can wear his Green Beret uniform from when he was in his early 20s.
Amazing! I know.
Like, what?
I know. Not fair.
Not fair.
Anyway, I have been working out so that I can get in these great disco kind of inspired jumpsuits and move around the stage. And I have dancers now. And I've been having the best time with this new album because during COVID, actually, I had this epiphany that I wanted to do music where people could like really get up and move and dance and have a different experience with me, where they don't have to sit in their seats and like feel like they're behaved theater goers. Because I had done some clubs late at night, in the middle of the night in London when I was there doing press for something, and I'd show up at clubs at like 1 a.m. and the crowd was like pushed up against the stage and the energy was amazing. And so I really was like excited to make music like that. And I thought, well, what kind of music really showcases a big voice but still, grooves? And I thought of all the people I loved, all the women I loved especially, that did disco albums and dance albums. So I've been able to, not compromise my big melodies and big singing, but also do something that felt really good, that I felt like was an organic transition, but also would be something a little unexpected.
On Saturday, June 10th, join Nemacolin for a splashy celebration of transformation and inclusion at the 3rd Annual Nemacolin Pride. This year's events are at the Peak, where an outdoor hot tub and pool awaits. Sing your heart out in a lip sync battle, be blown away by swanky drag performances, and strut your stuff at our walk-off competition for a chance at a cash prize. Part of the proceeds from the 3rd Annual Nemacolin Pride benefit the PERSAD Center in Pittsburgh and Washington, PA. This event is open to everyone. Visit nemacolin.com for more information.
Go anywhere in a reliable Toyota SUV, complete with the tech you need for any adventure. Like a RAV4, with available panoramic view monitoring, giving you more visibility than ever before. Or check out a Highlander, available in hybrids to combine efficiency and all the space you need. Or a Venza, available with a 12.3-inch touchscreen and premium sound system. Choose your Toyota SUV today. Visit buyatoyota.com for more, and let's go places.
A good team protects its best assets during the game. Burns & Scalo Residential Roofing believes the same should go for your home. That's why Burns & Scalo has been Pittsburgh's go-to roofer for 67 years. Whether you've got a leak, clogged gutters and downspouts, need a roof repair, or a complete replacement, Burns & Scalo can help. From shingles and slate to metal and solar options, Burns & Scalo is the black and gold standard of roofing. Burns & Scalo, the official roofing partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Because you're younger than me, you kind of missed out on the jumpsuits.
Yeah,
like you were in onesies when I was in jumpsuits.
That's not true. No
It
way.
is true. It is true. You were okay, maybe not onesies, but you were probably in the parachute pants with matching jacket, teal and pink.
Yeah.
Did you have the teal and pink matching jacket and pants?
I did, but a lot of fluorescent, and my hair was like this, like this with hairspray, like that.
Yeah. So was mine.
So
yeah.
But yeah, I named the album Drama Queen. One, because as your daughter knows, I played a lot of queens in my career for some reason. Two, because I sometimes think I'm a queen in my own mind. But also because I feel like I wanted to reclaim the term a little bit, it's kind of like reclaiming the term diva. And, a drama queen in my case is someone that has lots of big emotional, big feelings, bold feelings, passionate feelings.
I tried the same with broad. To me, when you're a broad, that's a compliment.
Yes, exactly. That's my East Coast.
Yeah.
Long Island broad. Yeah, exactly. So, and then I really feel like it encompasses a lot of the themes that have been sort of, a pattern in my life and in the projects I've been a part of, where we really, especially as women, embrace, this real fire that we have in us and not trying to shy away from that. And so a lot of the songs have to do with that. I'm really glad that it coincides with Pride. So I'm going out and hitting a lot of the Pride festivals. And I've just been having the best time with it. I'm really proud of it too.
Now, do you have any mini disco skirts that you can twirl in?
Only if I wear like 2 pairs of tights, because I feel like my legs are too flabby for the minis.
I met Cher backstage in one of her outfits, and she was in her 70s at the time, I think. And damn, she was rocking it. I'm like, you are my goal. You are my goal.
One of my inspirations for the album, because she came out with Believe and that whole dance album.
Oh, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Rocking it. Well, where can we find out, Idina, about your tour?
It's mostly this summer, hitting a lot of the festivals. I guess you can go on my website. You can check out. I'm going to be in DC at Pride, Providence, Rhode Island, St. Petersburg, St. Louis. Then I'm going to go to London and hit a bunch of cities in Europe, which I'm really excited about. And then we'll see about a tour in a couple months, as well. You could just check out on my website or my socials, I guess. So I'm figuring out how can I do Let It Go and Defying Gravity as dance tunes, as well. Give them a little goom, goom,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Oh, and Let It Go as a dance tune could become an anthem of a whole different nature.
Exactly.
I have played that song on my show for women who need to walk away from destructive marriages or destructive relationships. I have played Let It Go. Everybody thinks of it as a kid's song or a Disney song, but really, it's kind of an anthem.
Yes, it is an anthem.
Throw
It's
a beat in there and flash some lights, and we'll be dancing.
Yeah, and let your fire out, Don't withhold your talents or what makes you special for anybody,
Or your ice, in that case. Let your ice
Exactly.
out.
And don't wear your gloves to
That's
keep
right.
your icicles from coming out of your,
Yeah, take those damn gloves off. Idina Menzel is sharing some time and some love with us today. I have more questions for her, but first, a round of applause for an outstanding performance by my podcast sponsor. There's a new network I'm excited to tell you about, and I know you will be too. Great American Family is devoted to family-friendly TV with holiday movies, delightful rom-coms, fan-favorite series, and Christmas. Join them for Christmas in July for Christmas movies 24/7 all month long. Then stay tuned for original movies the rest of the year. You'll meet some of your favorite stars there, including Danica McKellar, Candace Cameron Burr, and Trevor Donovan. And of course, more Christmas movies come the holiday season. There's a channel finder at greatamericanfamily.com, so you'll know just where to go when you want unquestionably solid family programming any time of the year. That's greatamericanfamily.com. You're a big deal.
I'm very flattered.
Partly because you're so stinking talented and you're in a lot of their favorite movies that I let them watch. And partly because since the day I met you, I've been impressed by your grace and your kindness to everyone and your honesty.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, for better or for worse, that's my deal. Sometimes I get myself in trouble, put my foot in my mouth, or, when you're really honest, you allow people to see your weaknesses and you got to be careful there, But I think that vulnerability is all of our strength, it's what makes us human. And the fact that we can make mistakes is just more interesting, than being perfect. So that's the way I tell myself when I feel like shit,
Have you ever met anybody whose life appeared perfect?
Yeah. Yeah. Or that I thought was perfect. Yeah. Like 3 kids, skinny as can be, gorgeous dresser, doctor, saving lives, doing, and then found out, marriage was a mess and just a bunch of things. So it's, you never know what people are experiencing. So I try to think about that when I show up to school.
I think people whose lives appear perfect are a better actor than you. You know what I mean? I think they're acting so hard and working so hard to manage other people's perceptions of them. Yeah. I don't know how old I was when I gave myself permission to not give a damn what somebody else thought about me. Their opinion of me is none of my business, number one. And number two, I don't have the time or energy to waste 1 second trying to impress you. I'm just going to be me.
On the other hand, I know I'm successful, but I do want to impress people. I still want people to like what I do. It's still hard for me to have critics come to my play and give me,
you got to know at this stage in the game that you have a voice of an angel, powerful angel, a warring angel. We're talking about the 10-foot tall angels that are blazing.
Not a little cherub.
You're not a little cherub, but I hope that you are able to receive the truth of your gifting.
Thank you.
And then forget them. Wear the clunky heels, wear the platform shoes, and have some fun.
Show a little shoulder.
Yeah. Show a lot of shoulder.
Yeah.
I hijacked my Halloween party 11 years ago and got married.
What's that mean?
Like we didn't tell anybody. We eloped. We eloped at our Halloween party. We didn't tell anybody.
What were you wearing when you got married?
Well, I ordered a dress offline, and I didn't have time. It came like the day before. I didn't have time to try it on beforehand, and so I popped my dress on, and everything was kind of popping out. Spillage. There was spillage.
Yeah.
We didn't have, because we didn't tell anybody we were doing it. We didn't have a professional photographer or anybody there, but some folks, snap pictures with their phones or whatever. And I have a couple of those pictures, and I'm like, whoa, I should have tried that dress on before.
I got married in my backyard too, to my husband that I'm with now. And it was great. Although our new neighbors moved in, they tried to report us and everything. So then we tried to kiss their butt and like bring them champagne, and because we were doing renovations in the backyard. So then they were like annoyed. So we went over, we invited them, but it was so stressful because I felt like we're going to have music. We're going to enjoy just, it's just one time. I'm not like, they automatically think if you're in the business that you're going to have crazy rock and roll parties. Little do they know, all I do is binge watch and sit on my couch, It's funny, the Golden Girls, I went back and I realized they're I always thought they were older women, like older, and I think they're my age now, living, but like my age, living with my best friends down in a retirement home. I don't know, it's just I can't understand what was going on there with the casting, but I think I have distorted and a distorted idea of how old I am.
No, I think the truth is we are very different at this age than our parents or our grandparents were at this age.
Well, they had kids so early, and so yeah.
And they had lived hard. I mean, my grandparents, my sister is the historian in our family, and she was telling me how for years my grandparents were migrant workers. They lived in Arkansas, but they would come out to the West Coast in the summer and work in strawberries or picking beans or.
Oh, wow. My grandpa Max used to brag that he would do signs and add gold leaf paint to it. That's what made it special. But he was a sign painter, and he used to teach me how to do lettering a lot. So I'm good at like doing bubble letters and cursive and calligraphy and stuff like that because of him.
I miss beautiful sign work. Miss that was an art form.
Yeah.
Especially like on the sides of buildings when they would do a brick building and do the signs on the brick building. It's beautiful. Yeah.
And then my dad sold pajamas. So
was a pajama sale. Did he make the pajamas? Did he design the pajamas?
Salesman. So he'd go to JCPenney and hope to get like, 1 million pairs of BD pajamas sold. And he still says to this day, the woman, the buyer, put me through college. And he would bring all of his buyers to all of my shows. That was the thing. So he'd see my shows like 50 times. I think he saw Rent and Wicked about 50 times or something. But because that was a nice night out to take them, and schmooze, maybe get a good order. But I had lots of beautiful pajamas and nightgowns. Beady.
Idina, thank you for spending time with us today. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a beautiful summer. Have a beautiful rest of your summer. And hopefully I will see you soon.
Love you guys.
Love you. Bye, hon.
Bye.
Idina Menzel brings her electrifying vocal chops to high energy electro dance pop anthems on her latest album, Drama Queen. With funky grooves and a disco-infused vibe, it's an invitation to throw off the shackles of expectation. Embrace your inner drama queen. Join her in the spotlight and move to the dance floor. Put on some roller skates if you want to disco roller skate. It's a fun, fresh new album that brings the drama in the best way possible. The full album will be available next month in August, and the single Move is ready for you to download right now. Keep up with Idina and all of her projects at idinamenzel.com. Follow her on Instagram, on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook.